Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your August 2018 general readings. Thank you so much for joining us here today, and welcome to any newcomers. Thank you for all those of you who continue to like, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And always a big thank you to all of my clients out there, both regular and new, for continuing to keep me so busy with personal one-on-one readings. It's an honor and a pleasure. Thank you. As you can see, my background has changed. I am doing, again, my annual gypsy thing, roaming around Europe, currently back in lovely Poland and a little flat here, traveling all around. But as you know, I work anywhere and everywhere there's an internet connection, which is pretty much everywhere in the world these days. So what a blessing. And for any of you who may be interested in a personal one-on-one reading with me, you can get all the information or more information and my contact details by either going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on that little About button, or you can click on the description bar of all the videos I post. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to do a reading with you, live or recorded. Turnaround time is usually pretty timely, anywhere from a few days upwards of 2 or 3 weeks, but almost always within that period of time. So if you're interested, send me an email. We'll go from there. I do a wide variety of readings in all areas of life, including 6 and 12-month overviews of what's coming in your life for the next 6 or 12 months, channeled messages from past on loved ones, and gift readings, in addition to, you know, compatibility chartings, love and romance, career, work and finance, and investment readings as well. You can also, for quick answers to quick questions, you can also find me on the smartphone app Instantgo under Irish Gypsy, and that link is also provided. All right, let's get into this. This reading is for the air sign of Libra for the month of August 2018. Let's see what's in store for our lovely Librans. Libra, August 2018. Okay, Libra. We begin with the Two of Swords, followed by the Seven of Cups. We have the Ace of Pentacles, followed by the Emperor. We have the Eight of Pentacles, followed by the Page of Pentacles. And we have Judgment, followed by the Page of Cups. And from the bottom of the deck, your overall energy, focus, and guidance for the month of August 2018 is the Ace of Wands. So it looks like new beginnings or opportunities for new beginnings in front of you, Libra, and some maybe advice about making some careful decisions about those. Your overall energy, your crowning card from the bottom of the deck, overall energy and focus, is the Ace of Wands. Now remember, these are general readings, which can be kind of tricky because there's a lot of you watching, so they'll resonate a little differently for everybody, timing and intensity. And some of you, it may resonate more in one area of your life rather than the other. The energy and advice always remains the same regardless of what area of your life this applies to. We almost always advise that you watch your rising and your moon sign videos if you know them and if you can, because they can provide additional clarification or may play out a little more predictively for you. So for a lot of you, if not most of you, the overall energy for the month is the Ace of Wands. Fire energy, which is the element which governs this suit. Fire is the energy of creation. It's action-oriented, change, movement, action, power, artistic, creative, passionate, enthusiastic energy. Aces represent the number 1, so they always represent the start of something new, the beginning of a new path, or the opportunity for that. So it's an exciting new beginning. It could be a new project, could be a new job, it could even be a new relationship for some of you, but definitely new beginnings and opportunities for new beginnings are in front of you. That's basically what the energy is focused on for the month of August 2018. Now it looks like at the beginning of the month or the end of July, I'm recording these in the last week of July, you may feel a little stuck. You may be daydreaming, fantasizing, thinking about multiple opportunities, what might be possible, because we have the Two of Swords and the Seven of Cups here. So we have air energy, which is the element which governs the suit of swords, and this is mental, psychological energy, intellectual, cerebral energy. It's all about what goes on up in here, the energy of swords. It's about our belief systems, how we look at things, what we think about things, our perspectives, and because that affects the way that we see and relate and communicate with the world and people in the world outside of ourselves. So this is all about what goes on up in our heads. It's also about truth, illumination, clear thinking, higher education, and learning as well. Cerebral energy. The Two of Swords, typically represent duality, choices, being at a crossroads. The Two of Swords can represent feeling stuck. It can represent needing to choose a path or needing to set something in motion, but feeling like you're not sure which way to go. It often also represents that there's something in front of you which needs to be dealt with, but for some reason there's a reluctance and a resistance to look at it head on or to deal with it head on, which can be what the blindfold represents. It is sometimes, I kind of look at this card as sometimes being, you know, your head stuck in the sand, meaning that if you take the blindfold off and look at something directly in the reality for what it is, then you will be in a position that you'll have to make a choice, a decision, you'll have to take action or do something about it. So there's a reluctance and a resistance to do that, so the blindfold stays on. But the fact that it's come up represents that, you know, there's something which needs to be looked at, something which needs to be dealt with, and action needs to be taken or a choice needs to be made. Now the Two of Swords is clarified by the Seven of Cups. Cups is water energy. That's the element which governs the suit in the tarot. And this energy usually manifests in the emotional area of our life, our emotional landscape, our feelings, and also that's the area of our life that deals with relationships with people, all different kinds of relationships. The Seven of Cups is a card that has kind of a daydreamy, illusionary feel to it. It can represent being distracted, being scattered, not being practical or reality-based in something, considering multiple opportunities, you know, kind of daydreaming about things, an illusionary sort of energy. Each one of these seven cups is filled with something beautiful, something perfect. And what is in each of these cups represents potential, something that could be. And each one of these cups represents something that would probably be realizable if you chose that as your goal and work towards that. But considering all of these can be sometimes a little unrealistic. Sometimes when I see this card, I sort of get the energy of somebody who, you know, like the young person who wants to be a doctor one week, a ballerina the next, an astronaut the next. Each one of those dreams is realistic for most people if you chose that path and worked towards it. But this can be kind of a card that represents being kind of all over the place and not really thinking in, you know, the cautionary advice would be to be realistic. So both of these cards combined at the end of July, beginning of August, can represent, Libra, that some of you may be, you know, there's a new beginning or new opportunity in front of you. Be careful to be realistic about it. Be careful to go, okay, well, there's this new beginning or new opportunity in front of me. Do I want to take this? Am I already set on the path? Okay, what is actually realistic about this new beginning, this opportunity? Make your choices. If you're considering a bunch of things, you know, and you're kind of all over the place, it's all about choosing one goal and kind of working towards that goal. For some of you, you may not want to... For some of you, you may be starting something new or considering starting something new, and you may not be looking at all the fine print or everything about it that you need to be looking at. Or you may just be kind of in this kind of daydreaming fantasy mode because you may have, some of you I feel may have started something new recently. It could be a new project or a new job or something of that sort. And because it looks like there's a lot of hard work here later on with the Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles can represent hard work, a lot of work, maybe working a lot or repetitive work. And the Page of Pentacles can represent just beginning to come, because pages are starting out. They're always on an introductory path, these young people. It can be, the Page of Pentacles can represent just beginning to come to a deeper understanding and awareness of how much hard work and effort needs to be put into this thing that you're considering starting or something that you have already started, particularly if it's a new career path, a new job, or a new project you've committed yourself to. And you may be kind of like, you know, thinking, oh, I didn't realize it was going to be like this. And you may be kind of fantasizing or daydreaming about doing something else, or going off and starting something else, or quitting one job to consider something else. So be careful, particularly at the end of July and the beginning of August, to make sure that you're realistic and practical about what you're considering doing, whether it's something you're considering starting or something you've already started. because it looks like a lot of you have started something new or are starting something new, but it's requiring a lot of hard work, and you're just in the month of August coming to an understanding of what it's actually going to take, and you may be a little put off by that, or you may be a little, wow, I didn't know it was going to be like this. Do I really want to do this? Make sure, because the advice is to make sure to stay grounded and realistic about it, and don't quit doing something or not take a new opportunity just because you're afraid of what it might entail. We also have the Ace of Pentacles and the Emperor. The Ace of Pentacles, here we have another new beginning. This is a practical, tangible new beginning. It's Pentacles energy, which is earth energy. And in the tarot, the energy, the earth energy of the suit of Pentacles is often about the earthly, tangible things in our life we can see and touch and feel. Things like money, finances, property, assets, resources, job, etc. So this is a new beginning in a practical, tangible way that will affect perhaps your day-to-day life. So this card often comes up for moving, relocating, starting a new job. Some of you may be moving, relocating, or starting a job, or moving and relocating in order to start a new job. Practical new beginnings. I mean, you have this definitely this energy of something new starting. You've started something new, or there's an opportunity to start something new. It may require moving or relocating. It may be a new job or new career path or new project for some of you. You know, with that Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, it looks like it may require a lot of work, a big investment of time and energy, and you maybe just kind of maybe have rushed into it, you know, being all excited about the promise. You were only looking at the promise and potential of it down the road, but then when you started, you're realizing, wow, this is the actual work of it, and this is what it's going to be like. And you may be tempted to, you know, stop it or not take it for some reason. But I feel like Spirit is kind of guiding you towards that and asking you, you know, the Ace of Pentacles is clarified by the Emperor. The Emperor is a card about structure, self-discipline, accountability, being responsible, paying attention to detail, because that's what the Emperor does. He is the traditional paternal figure of the tarot. He can sometimes represent fathers or father figures. Your father may be important or significant for some of you in the month of August, but he has an entire empire to run. So that's, you know, 1,000,000,001 details. So he has to stay on top of all of those things. So this is a man that pays attention to, you know, to structure, to details, to schedules, to responsibility, accountability, because with all of the details that need to be in place in order to run something successfully, that all needs to be managed and delegated and looked after properly, or things start to fall apart. So you have this tangible new beginning, which is kind of requiring all of this. I feel like some of you are either starting off on a new job or a new career path. You may have been given a raise or a promotion at work that requires a significantly larger proportion of work, and requires more you to manifest more of this energy of the Emperor. You know, it's a very grown-up kind of, you know, more responsibility, more maturity, more work kind of level. And then next we have that Eight of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles around the middle to the third week or so. So it's where kind of the realization starts to kick in of, okay, well, this is what this is going to be like. I'm working a lot. I'm paying attention to detail. I am building up a slow, steady foundation for myself, and kind of cluing in on, okay, this is really what it's going to take actually playing out. And again, there may be this temptation to, I feel like for some of you, it's maybe to run away, or you may be feeling in this new task that you're not up to it, or that you're not skilled enough, or that it's too overwhelming for you in some way. And you may be kind of fantasizing about doing something different. But for those of you for whom that resonates, it feels like Spirit is saying, be careful with kind of taking those thoughts too far, because they don't feel reality based. And it looks like a really good opportunity that has the potential to manifest and grow into something quite lovely for yourself. So make sure that you don't make any significant changes that are emotionally driven or based on feeling, you know, maybe overwhelmed and tired in the moment, or feeling, you know, experiencing some self-doubt and anxiety, which is the message at or towards the end of August 2018 too. We have Judgment and the Page of Cups. And these two pages are next to each other, and pages can represent messengers and messengers. They represent young people. They always have this young, fresh energy. But I don't like to see too many of them in one spread, because they can represent too much young, childish, or childlike energy. maybe being a little immature or not considering things, not being practical enough. So you do have 2 here. And the Page of Pentacles is just coming to an understanding of how something works in a real way. The Page of Cups is a very emotionally youthful or sometimes emotionally immature individual, tends to do things based on the emotion of the moment. And what crowns him is Judgment, which is a card that often shows up when a decision or a choice has to be made. Whether it appears to be a small, insignificant choice or a big choice, there's an air of finality about Judgment, which means that choose carefully. Make sure that whatever decisions you make are not made spontaneously or impulsively, because the air of finality about Judgment says that whatever you choose, whatever you decide, whatever you send into motion is going to have long-lasting effects and consequences. So make sure that you think everything out very carefully before you make any significant or life-changing important decisions. Even if you think they're not so important in the present, when Judgment shows up, it represents that they will set the stage for something for quite some time to come. So be very careful, measured, methodical about considering everything before you make any significant decisions. The Emperor would also do that as well, because it looks like, you know, perhaps the challenge and the temptation is to, you know, maybe you're feeling overwhelmed that something is too much for you, and you're wanting to kind of retreat back into a more useful frame of mind or a more childlike frame of mind and go, I don't want to do this. I didn't know what I was getting myself into. I think I'm going to leave and do something easier. Be careful about that. Make sure that you stay very practical, focused, and grounded this month. That's the overall energy and advice. So Libra, that pretty much wraps up your August 2018 general reading. I hope that you found it helpful. Again, if any of you are interested in a more personal one-on-one reading with me, live or recorded, you can get more info on my contact details by going to my YouTube channel's homepage and clicking on the little About button, or you could click on the description bar of all the videos I post. Please feel free to email me directly at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to set up a reading with you as quickly as we can. And I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the August 2018 mid-month general readings. And until then, as always, Libra, I wish you joy, peace, blessings, and a happy life. Take care, and I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.